I think I'm going to make up yet another TMP term with this tabletop review. Here it comes. A la carte AR-15. What I mean by that, it's a gun where you can customize it on the webpage or on the phone and get the accessories to the core gun that you want. A la carte AR-15. Maybe it's out there already, I don't know. But it really describes this one. Welcome to my tabletop review, GRV, on the WMD, that stands for Weapons of Mass Destruction is the company. This is the Beast model. Tabletop review. It's a cool gun. Thanks to the entity above for loaning it to me. They're the ones that configured this gun as you see, which I pretty much like. I mean, the stuff they put on there is pretty excellent. Definitely an option. Definitely. At the top is my own build. I'm not really going to do a comparison and contrast. I just don't like the table looking like this. It's just nothing up there. So this is my BCM lightweight barrel, lightweight handguard. I mean, this thing is featherweight right here. I've talked about it a lot. Let's go look at my best tongue-in-cheek title, best AR-15 build in the world video, and I talk about the components. I'm not going to go over it here. Just something to look at. Check this out though. We came back from desert testing. I used Soldier Boy alumni John to help me out. We had several pretty good AR-15s that we ran that day in run and gun for insert video, which you'll see here. He liked this one the best. I was surprised. He's like, yeah, I really like that AR. And I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like the WMD. I think it's a great gun. I wouldn't say it was that day my favorite. You'll see in tabletop which one was. I may or may not mention that if I remember it. But I think it's an interesting data point that here we have, he's probably a newer AR-15 owner, enthusiast, whatever you want to call it, aficionado. And this was his takeaway. He liked it the best. Now, I went to their website. I don't know a lot about WMD. I know they're really into coatings, especially the Nib X coating. It's a nickel boron coating they do a lot of work in. Apparently, you know, some people say, well, it's not as good as MP3, and there's a controversy on that. I don't know. I don't know. From my testing and the reliability I saw of this gun, it's not an issue. It was pretty excellent. I wouldn't have any reservations at all on Nib X. From what I know about it at this point, I think it's a high lubricity, high durability coating, high tech. You know, I'm not going to get into that, but I think it's important to set the stage for who WMD is. I think they are primarily a coatings company, and then they're putting together these a la carte guns. Maybe some already put together builds. I did go on their website, and they are listing complete guns with some variances that you can change. Just a thought, though. That's WMD. Philosophy of use is standard. I'm just kind of glossing over this because we've hit it so many times. The one thing I would say on this is and this will kind of dovetail us into SAWC design and ergos, is it is a billet gun. And for you viewers who watch all my GRVs, you'll see a very consistent philosophy thread through all of them. And one of those philosophies is that I kind of prefer a forged lower and upper. I don't see much advantage in billet. Other than you can make it look cooler. Like, for instance, this billet lower that this Beast has, you know, you've got some milling on the front of the magwell, which is cool. I don't know if that provides any traction to you. It has an enlarged magwell, which could help if you're running 3-gun or a competition. An enlarged trigger guard. And just a different look, which guys like. And so this is a milled 7075, which is pretty interesting because 7075 is a lot more difficult to work in than a 6000 series aluminum. So good on WMD, or whoever put it together for WMD. I doubt they did it. They're using a manufacturer that did it for them. They stamped their name on it. So whoever it is, I don't know. I don't really care. The quality levels seem pretty high on it. But if we're talking philosophy of use, we're kind of talking second cool here, because now we have an AR that doesn't look, I shouldn't say normal, but I don't know, whatever, plain Jane. Has a better look to it. So that might be a kind of a cool factor thing if you're interested. We'll start at the muslin super quick. This is a Pro Comp Surefire. I like the way it's shot. A lot of you guys have experience with it, no doubt. I liked it. I like the barrel of the profile on this WMD. It's a 1 in 7 I think it is a 5.56 chambering. M4 profile though. I've talked about that lots. I'll spare you another discussion on that. Salt bath nitrided on the inside, and this one, as you can see, is Cerakoted, the whole gun actually, in burnt bronze, which incidentally is one of our favorite colorations these days in the shop. It just looks cool. It has somewhat of a camouflage look to it. It contrasts, as you can see, very well with black. Back to the barrel though. I'm not really sure who puts this together. Has low profile gas block. Oh, and by the way, I don't like this. It's a carbine gas system, carbine length gas system. So I'm kind of down on that. I don't like that. I'll put mid-length on all mine. At least mid-length. Sometimes I'll even go rifle on a build. But I don't know, I can live with it. It's not a deal breaker, but it's just something to think about. I was saying about the barrel. I don't know who put it together. They're getting components they're putting together, putting their name on it. But the barrel's okay. We're going to look at accuracy. And I wouldn't say it's phenomenal from the way it's shot, and that usually is an indication of barrel quality, how it's put together. There you go. Hey, we haven't seen one of these for a while. Troy Alpha rail. Hey, Nut, that used to be your favorite rail forever. You're correct, and I still love the rail. I think a Troy Alpha series is excellent. The only thing, and the only reason I've changed away from it is, one, attachment of accessories requires a big chunk of metal on the underside of the handguard, which I don't like, as opposed to this. I can get just an M-Lock or Key Mod polymer rail and throw it on a super slim, super lightweight handguard. This is a BCM once again, and off to the races I go. I think this is a better, more refined technology than this. However, for the price and what you're paying, I still think it's a lightweight, durable, very comfortable handguard. I still like the Alpha. We do have on this one M-Bus, so it's outfitted with probably still my favorite backup iron sights, which I don't think anyone uses, honestly. I think once you scope it, you just run it. I think the idea is sound, that we want to have a backup iron sighting system. I just don't think anyone uses it. And I've pretty much abandoned having a quick release scope mount. This is, and I finally labeled it so I could tell you guys, the Aero Precision Ultralight. And it is model number, whatever it is, you can see it right there. Boom. I'll put the link. I get them on Amazon, and sometimes I'll code them. Really lightweight, super lightweight. Weighs about half of everything else I've been using, but it's not QR. And getting back to that super quick detour is that the QR stuff that we've used in the project, we put it back on, and it's not zero repeatable. It's changing, even though the manufacturers, including high-end ones like LaRue, saying, hey, if you get return to zero, it just is not the case. Not that we've seen. We're getting a 2 MOA shift sometimes, maybe even more. But anyways, that's what I'm saying, and you can see it clears the M-Bus, at least the height. That's a 30 mil scope. This is just a testing Burris. We tried to sell this scope, no one bought it, so I'm like, well, screw that, man. We're not giving it away. We'll use it as a tester, and it's really a great testing scope. It's a, they don't even make this one anymore, 4.5 to 14. There you go. Good scope. Ballistic reticle, in case you're wondering. On to the receiver, we talked about that. The trigger is also Nib X coated. And that means it's going to pull smoother, and it does. And let's see if I wrote it down, what it pulls at. Yeah, I did. 5 pounds, 8 ounces, and weapons of mass destruction say it will pull under 6, and they're correct. I got to tell you, I love nickel boron coating. I like NP3. I love coated bolt carrier groups like that. I have had really good experience with matte chromed ones like Rock River puts together. A really good experience. So I wouldn't say that I absolutely need to have Nib X or MP3 coating. I do like it. I mean, LWRC's been using it for a long time, and I still have an M6A2 that's coated in it. Let's take a look inside super quick. Nothing special on this charging handle. You can upgrade it on this a la carte AR-15 if you so desire. I'm looking at how they coated it. Looks like they coated just the top portion of it. I'm not going to pull it out. So there's a look. This is probably after about 400 rounds shot with us. I did not clean it. I did not lubricate it at all. So I did see a discussion there like, oh, Nib X really fouls bad. I just not seen it. It looks normal. It looks like any other high-end, high-tech coating, MP3 or whatever. It's nickel boron's good. I didn't see any flaking whatsoever. You can see the staking of the gas key, the bolt. I just think it's a quality put together. I'm not sure who's putting these together for WMD, but I have no reservations on the quality from shooting this gun and what I've seen. M4 feed ramps if you're interested. And there's your trigger. Look inside. Upper and lower fit tight, really tight, no movement whatsoever if you care. Going to the back part, we talked about the trigger. This is an MOE K2 pistol grip. I don't like the MOE K2 Plus as a rubber on it. I much prefer this one. It has a more straight angle on it if you guys care. I can run a regular MOE and have a smile on my face all day long. It works great. MOE on this version, stock of course, with a mil-spec tube at the back. There's your castle nut. Thankfully not permanently pinned. I've talked about that a lot. Let's look at accuracy super quick on the weapons of mass destruction beast model. This is C Products 20 curved. It looks good on the table, and it's a great mag. The C Product stuff is just excellent. I'll say accuracy was kind of disappointing, to be totally honest with you. Getting back to my discussion on the barrel, here we see Wolf. I mean, it's Wolf. We don't expect Wolf to do that good. But keep in mind, a Rock River arms shoot Wolf into 1.5 MOA consistently. I'm not even kidding you. Go look at my review. I'm not just one Rock River. I mean, all the Rock Rivers I've shot shoots Wolf really good. TAC A doing really good. And I would like to represent more loads, but this is just what I had with me at the range. So I don't mean to, you know, just give these loads. There's Wolf. TAC A 77. That's a really good group. And this is interesting because it shows what the gun is capable of with premium ammunition. And that's a premium ammo load. There's Gold Medal Match with a disappointing 2 MOA group. And this was a really nice group with Gold Medal Match 69 grain variety, just opening up a little bit. So I think the gun is capable of 1 MOA if you load it right. So that's fair to say, right? I mean, super quick. TAC A 55 there. PMC doing I gave it a squiggly mark. I'm not sure why. Probably because of horizontal stringing, but that's still a pretty good group. This one kind of sucked. For the price point we're talking about, that one sucked. TAC A opening up, and PMC. So I will give it a very qualified 1 MOA shooter, more like 1.5 is what I'm seeing. 1.5 to 2 MOA on this version of the WMD Beast, which, to be totally honest, is not inspiring to me. I mean, for the price level of this gun, especially when I just tabletop the Ruger AR-556 that's shooting into 1 MOA with just standard ammo, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So we have other supposedly high-end ARs that are not matching that. And I've said it before, it usually comes down to barrel. And oddly enough, it's not necessarily that the barrel's free float or not. Both these are free float, of course, because those value AR-15s are not free float, and they're still shooting inch groups off the bench. Yeah, so that's Ergo's features. I think everything else is standard AR. I don't think I need to blabber too much about it. There's the milling, if you care, of the Beast model of the billet receiver, and this is kind of what I'm talking about. For second cool, guys are able to get stuff like that, and they dig it. They just dig it. Firepower standard, takedown standard. There is a video on WMD. They have, it's their own crew. They went out and they put like dirt in the bolt when they're shooting it. I don't think they opened it up and put it in there, and I don't think that's necessary or a realistic test. It's kind of a gee whiz thing. Maybe I'll roll in the video, and it's okay, cool, you know. Whatever. I mean, any good AR-15 would pass that test. Seriously. And this is not a piston gun, it's a DI gun like we talked about. But one thing I do know is that in our track record, in the limited shooting, admittedly limited shooting we did, it was 100%, if I'm remembering right. I mean, it ran good with steel, no jams. It ran good with brass, no jams. And it's better than we can say for a lot of other stuff we've had lately in the project. Accessories, what would you change? Well, it's an a la carte AR-15, so you should basically dial into what you want. That's a benefit if you don't want to honestly spend a lot of time dinking around getting all the components and installing it yourself. I speak from experience. Doing a build takes time. You're usually ordering from different manufacturers. I got this barrel and the handguard from a different manufacturer. I got the lower different. I got this Odin Works ambidextrous mag release at a gun store. I got the sights from a different place. You get the story. Charging handle from a different place. It's a lot of time, and in the end, you're spending a lot of money to get it the way you want with super high-end stuff. It is what it is. By the way, that is coming out of defensive system, and yes, it is loaded. Value is okay. I think it's fair. I forget the price exactly. Call them up. They'll talk to you. Again, I recommend supporting the people who support TMP, and that's the entity at the top. It's always in the bottom bar description too, and that's the dudes that are making this review possible. thank you to them. Appreciate it. Lots of different options out there. I'm not even going to go into them because I want this video review to be short. In fact, it's over. Yeah, it's pretty sick.
You agree?
Looks good, shoots good.
What else can you ask for?
It's good AR, really nice build. Nickel boron coating on the BCG. Trigger, excellent. Still like the Alpha, still a good handguard. Like you say, this works great. Good AR. Time to clean up.